Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. They're really struggling at a point where they kind of need to start winning some games. And I'm talking about the rest of the season for the 76ers, what their plan should be here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. We're very close to 900 subs. We're like right there. So every subscribe, all that stuff would be really appreciated. Link to my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the Philadelphia 76ers, they are currently having a very bad season. We all know that. Things are just not going well over there for them. They've had so much injury problems, haven't been able to consistently put all their players out there on the court, really struggling to win games, and currently they're kind of at a very low point right now. They're 20-35. They're on a 7-game losing streak. They just lost to the Brooklyn Nets last night on a game winner by Nick Claxton. And things are just keep getting worse and worse for this Sixers team. And now we're currently sitting in February. Like earlier this season, we were talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. It was November, December, early January. And it was like, all right, they're still going to have, maybe 40-something, 50-something games still to be able to kind of regroup, as long as they get a little bit of a healthy streak with Joel, PG, and Tyrese, just maybe a couple game sample size to show they can win games, and it'll be like, oh, okay, now it kind of puts the pressure off of them. But we haven't been able to really see that still, you know? Like now we're in past All-Star break, we're in February, we got about 28 to 30 games left, and there's still major problems with this team. They still are not anywhere near the place that they should be at, record-wise and watch them on the court-wise. I mean, record-wise, 20-35, 15 games out of 500 in a weaker in Eastern Conference where they go on a 3-4 game win streak. They're in the play-in, but it's been right there. They haven't been able to get that. The Bulls have been struggling well. The Bulls have lost 6 games in a row too, and the Sixers just have not been able to make up any of that ground on Chicago to make the play-in even. They're still on the outside looking in, and with the loss to Brooklyn last night, they've fallen out another spot down to 12, where the Brooklyn Nets, who are actively trying to tank, and we all know are trying to get a high draft pick, have just surpassed them. So they have not been able to make up ground in terms of the games and standings, but even on the court watching them, it's just not nowhere near good enough, you know? Not even just with the star players, but the role players as well. When you look at the star players, look at the top guys, Joel Embiid, when he's on the court, usually you think he's going to miss games. We all know that. But when he's on the court, at least he's going to be like an MVP level player. And he hasn't really been that. Like he got a couple games, maybe in like December-ish, but right now Joel Embiid is just not playing at the level that we know he can be when he's on the court. And a reason for that is he needs another knee surgery. That report already came out a while ago saying he needs another knee surgery. Probably after the season's done, he's gonna have to have another surgery. He had a quote, I think, a day or two ago saying, my knee needs to be fixed. Like I know I'm not 100% right now," and you could tell he's just not playing like Joel Embiid we're used to seeing him play. And if Joel Embiid's not playing at that level, it's going to be very tough to win, especially when you combine that with what Paul George has been doing this year. Paul George has been having his worst season since being an all-star level player. I mean, 16 points per game. He's shooting, like 13, 14 shots per game, 42% from the field. Nowhere near good enough for a guy that you just paid $212 million to over 4 years in the first year of a new contract. Like, that is very scary. He has been dealing with his injury problems too. He had the knee in the preseason that kept him out a little bit. He's got a finger issue right now. He's getting injections for and all that stuff. But even still, it just has not, even when he's healthy and playing, it has not been good enough. He's gone almost an entire month, basically, without scoring 20. Without scoring 20. Not saying 25, 30, 20 points. Where he's averaged 20 points 9 straight years before this year. It's just bad. He's just been having a very off season. Also combine that with the role players they have right now that are not playing up to a level. You know, some of the guys, Caleb Martin, they traded Caleb Martin because he just was not playing well. Andre Drummond has missed a whole lot of the season. Kyle Lowry is 38 years old. How much are you going to rely on him? The only really bright standouts that you had was Jared McCain, who, or for the rest of the year, obviously, early in the year. Guerschon Yabusele, honestly, maybe you can make an argument Guerschon Yabusele has been like their second most important player, the most consistent player on this team. Because every night I see him go out, he competes hard. He plays the forward, center position very well. He rebounds well, defends well, shooting the three ball at an amazing level. Like, he brings energy to this team. Like, he's honestly one of the more important players on this team, and it sucks because he's having this good of a year. He's about to get paid in the offseason. The Sixers are not going to be able to keep him, most likely. There's a great chance that he's on another team next year because he's playing so well. Someone's going to give him a decent contract. I don't know if it's going to be Philly. You know, Quentin Grimes also has been playing pretty well since being there. I love the Quentin Grimes edition. But after that, it's just like we have not been able to find any consistency on this roster at all in terms of players and in terms of games played. They played, what, 15 games together? And even in those 15 games, usually if you have something like this where a big three, one of the players gets hurt, at least when you have a little sample size, you're like, all right, but when they play together, they're really good. When the Sixers play together, the big three, aren't they? I think they're 7-8 now after that loss last night. They're have a losing record with the big three playing. So it's not like you can salvage any of that. Say, well, when these three are together, they're 9-3, 9-4, and now we're gonna go on this big stretch. No, they're seven. They're like what 7-7, 7-8, and even in all those games, they haven't been able to complete all those games because someone gets hurt sometimes during the end of the game. So it's been very bad. It's just been bad. And at this point, we're at February 23rd right now. 15 games below 500. Got about what? I'm sorry, like 20 and 35, so 55 games. So that means you have 27 games left in the year to try to salvage this. At this point, the 76ers, what they should do, hang it up. Call it. Call the season at this point. Let Joel Embiid rest. Let Joel Embiid go get his knee surgery and let him sit. Paul George, if you need to sit to get healthy, go ahead and do it. And at this point, it should be better off to just say, you know what, pull the plug on the year. Let's regroup for next year. Because for many reasons. One, again, your superstar player is playing hurt and has even said himself he's not 100% right now. And knowing Joel Embiid's knee injury history, why are we gonna push Joel Embiid to the limit all the way this year just to make the play-in? Like, he's got to do all this just to not even to make a play, to make the play-in, to maybe be a 9 seed in the East, to go to the play-in, have to win 2 games, especially if you're 9-10, you have to win 2 games on the road. And even if you do win those 2 games, now we have a first-round date with the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Boston Celtics in the first round, which we know we're going to lose that series. We don't have a good team enough yet. And even though you do have Joel Embiid, who most likely will be the best player in that series, and when you have the best player, you have at least a puncher's chance to do it. But it's not 100%. It's a 60%, 55% Joel Embiid, not a 100% Joel Embiid or a 90% even. So why are we gonna waste all of our time, put more stress on Joel's knee and Paul George injury, all this stuff, and try to go 100% hard just to make the play-in, just to have another first-round exit again in 5 games, maybe 4 probably. Like, why are we gonna put, and then he can have the surgery later, and then maybe the next start season time for next year. It's a big spiral. And at this point, I feel like the Sixers just say, you know what, Joel, just go sit. Just go sit, man. Go get your surgery, sit for the entire summer, come back preseason or off season or next year. Like, at this point, it just doesn't. It's just not. I feel like it's just not smart for this team to try to keep going all in on another playing spot just to lose out early again. And then there's more questions. And with Joel's injury history, it's just it's bad. It should not happen. I feel like at this point they should call it, especially when you have your own. You might not get your own first round pick this year because it's top 6 protected and it goes to OKC. And most likely they're going to lose that pick, most likely, even if they do take for the rest of the year, because to catch top 6, you got to catch what? Washington, Charlotte, Toronto, Utah, New Orleans. That's going to be pretty tough. Maybe they can still get to that last spot. Maybe them fighting with Brooklyn and Portland. Maybe they can probably do that. But like it's just going to be very, very tough to keep that pick. But at this point, you got to try everything you can. And at this point, I would say, you know what? We're going to call the season. Because it's just not. I just don't feel like it's worth it. I just do not feel like it's worth putting that much stress on Joel Embiid's knee again, and to put this much stress on the entire team and the entire team basically. To just go out there and just lose early again and not make another long playoff route again. At least at this point, you can just say, you know what, we had a unlucky season. Injuries kept hitting us. This season was just an unlucky year for us. So let's just kind of like the Grizzlies last year. The Grizzlies just say, you know what, it's an unlucky season. We have injuries, all this stuff. Desmond, you can sit. Jaren, whatever you want to do. Go let the young players play. Let them develop. Let's just sacrifice, sit back, get a top pick. You know, let all our players get healthy, and then we come back into this year, and now look what they're doing this year. The Sixers can do a similar thing, where they're just, you know what, Joel, sit. Paul George, you can sit. Tyrese, if you want to play, go ahead. All the young guys, Ricky Council, and all of them go out and play. Let's go let's sit back, maybe get the 6th overall pick, so we get another top rookie in. We come back next year with Joel, PG, Tyrese, Jared McCain, that rookie, whoever we get in the offseason, and let's just then next year's the year. Because I just don't think it's worth going through all this. It's really tough, obviously. This team has high expectations. They put high expectations on themselves. They have a top player in the league. You bought Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, you have a big three. Like, it sucks to not even get a chance to see this team in playoff action. But I feel like tanking this and doing this will be better for next year in the future than right now. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.